Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for God's Recording Podcast. The God's Recording Podcast. The God's Recording Podcast. The God's Recording Podcast.
I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Psalm 122.
What's up, my brothers and sisters in Christ? Welcome to the God's Recorded Podcast with yours truly, Reverend Bertram B.J. Major. I am truly excited and delighted to be before each and every single one of you all once again. As you all notice, as I've been saying for the past number of months, you're going to start to see a lot of different things here on the God's Recorded Podcast, including, y'all can tell, the presentation within itself is starting to change. So between now and January, you're going to be seeing a lot going on. I am truly excited for what God is doing in this podcast as we approach the 23rd anniversary of this podcast. I can't believe it's been 23 years. It's hard to believe that. But anyways, joining me today is let me do this right. I got to do this right because one thing y'all find out about me is that I grew up at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Augusta, Georgia. And I have been talking about Calvary basically my whole time doing this podcast. And I have met some incredible people. My guest for today, first of all, let me tell you what I'm going to be talking about today with my guest. We're going to be talking about his track, Praying. So let me tell you this, the cover and the name got me sold already. When he first told me about it, sent me this, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to like this. So we're going to be talking about this today. Now, let me tell you about him just a little bit. I call this man the jack of all trades because I tell you, growing up in church, my first memory of him, he was playing the saxophone. And then over the years, I seen him go from the saxophone to the drums, to the piano, the organ. And I mean, he's great at all that stuff. I think I saw him on the guitar one time. I can't remember, but also, you know, he's doing his own thing with music. Also, he's going to be talking with you about a platform that he started today. He's going to talk about that. I could go on and on about him. I call him the jack of all trades because this man got it going on, and I'm looking forward to having him here for the first time ever to talk about this track, Praying, and I also talk about his platform, Floor 62. All that information is in the description to this podcast. But before you check out the links in the description, let's go ahead and chat on up with none other than my brother, J.Soul. Welcome.
One time, man. One time. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, dog.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yes, I mean, I can tell you, I remember the first time I saw him on the drums on Sunday morning. I'm like, what instrument he don't play?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, I tell you, it's a great joy of having you on here this morning. Now, I just want to get on into it because I have listened to Praying.
Okay.
And I really want you all to go check it out for yourself because really, one thing about me, I love different kinds of music. And I love when, you know, anybody that knows me knows I believe in the power of prayer. And when you're able to turn praying into like a song like that, it's very unique. And I have listened to it time and time again. I listened to it right before we started taping today. So tell us the story behind this. What made you put this together?
You know, God's really been putting it on my heart to deliver my gift for his work, you know. And, you know, I grew up in church, started in church with my music, you know, started off playing the saxophone in the sixth grade and all of it. But for this particular track, I was working on the beat, didn't know what the song was going to be about. I sat here right here in this room. And God said, pray. This song is about praying. And then he gave me that melody. God gives me all these melodies. I'm not like, I asked God, like, what you want me to talk about now? You know, like, so I think it's important for artists to really be honest about, you know, what's going on in our lives. And I think that's why the music can resonate to people. Um, and when I started looking around, like, when we started talking about the current administration, I started seeing planes go down at the beginning of this year. I made this beat like right at the beginning of the year, where it seemed like, I don't know, the year didn't start off great. When you start looking at all the news, and I just felt like what the people needed was a song about praying. And like the Bible says, we've got to pray without ceasing. So it was just perfect for me to just be so intentional about uh, just delivering that message, just praying, 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 because I know that things could be a lot worse for me. As far as I work for myself, that could be a hard thing, but at the same time, with people who think that they have a safe and secure job, a lot of people have been laid off. We have a government shutdown right now, and I don't have to experience any of those things because, God has given me a gift where even songs that I've written 14, 15 years ago, where I'm still getting paid for. And I've always had a positive message in my music. But now I'm even more intentional about working for God and having my music be God centered.
Yeah, and I'm glad you including the stuff that's going on in the present time.
Hmm.
I kind of was gonna touch on that a little bit, ask you that this, but you kind of already answered my question because a lot has happened. Even this, okay, so y'all, this came out, I believe, October 6th.
It did.
A lot has happened between October 6th and now.
Right.
So I think this song is a true reminder of how important it is to pray.
Right. Right.
And also, I think, honestly, just by listening to it, it's very relatable, y'all. It's very relatable. And I think that's something that's missing. I'm just going to tell like this. Well, a lot of artists just do things just to be doing it, but don't really have a message or something you can relate to behind it. So that's one thing I love about this track, Praying. And like I said, I got to show the cover one more time. When he sent me the cover, I mean, that got me sold because when I look at it, I see not only the word praying, but I could see myself just standing. Like I was at a beach recently.
Okay.
And I was just standing there looking at God and talking to God and just connecting with his creations. Like, you got the waves, you got the ocean, you got the wind, all this stuff. And it's just, you got to pause and just communicate with God because you can't do nothing without God. And I strongly believe that this track really, as more people get in tune with it and really listen to it, it's going to help a lot of people in this day and time. It's going to help people open up in ways that they thought they could never open up when it comes to God, because there's a lot of people, I strongly believe, after all this is said and done, it's going to start their relationship with the Lord, or they're going to grow in their relationship in the Lord. And I love how you say you are incorporating your walk with the Lord with what you do now.
Right.
Y'all need to not only go check out this. I believe you got something else out as well, if I'm not mistaken, that came out not too long ago. Am I correct?
Well, praying is the intro to what God gave me is the Heal Project.
Yeah.
And there's 4 songs that I worked on specifically for the Heal Project for this year. And I was going to drop all of it at the same time. And then God said, well, that's cool. You can put that on your website, but let's feed them one song at a time so you can really introduce it to them. So so people can be familiar with the music instead of just, oh, it's out now. And just so every day for about 30 days, I was pushing Pray. And the second song on the Heal Project is called Heal, Taking Time to Heal. Because that's something that I needed, So it's like, if I needed and I felt like it was jamming, I felt like other people would need it and they could jam to it too. But the third song is called Counting Up the Blessings, and the fourth song is called God's Party, letting people know that, hey, that God got a party for you too. It ain't just got to be a worldly party, be in the wicked tents of the world. That righteous people and the people who want to live right can have some music to jam to too. We got something we can dance to too, like in the Bible, they danced, our ancestors danced, but it wasn't about anything profane or vulgar or anything. We were dancing and celebrating, and we were worshiping God, and we was treating each other with respect. So that's something I want to bring to the culture. Not that I want to do gospel music or R&B music, but God told me just have it be God centered.
And I love how you said that, because one thing I could see happening with all this is that not only it could introduce other people to God, but also it's just like I'm personally looking forward to see how all this evolves.
Got it.
Just by listening to what you are saying, because what you are doing is great. And I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I've known him most of my life. He always have had a attitude where you could get hyped with. Like,
Okay.
I just told him this story. So 20 years ago, when I was in 8th grade,
Hmm.
I remember they did something for the 8th graders outside. I had like an 8th grade social. I don't know what you call it, but I sought off to the back to the back, because back then I was super quiet to myself. So I remember the DJ was hyping everybody up, and when I got close, I looked. I was like, it was this man right here. Story. But yeah, I was like, oh, no wonder everybody hype. He always get everybody hyped up. I always wonder who that. I was wondering who the DJ was, so I just got up and looked close. Like, oh, I know him. He goes to the same church. And I'm seriously praying for you with all that you are doing, because I could tell you're making a difference, and it's going to even make more of a difference, because you always had that about you. I noticed from afar. Everything about you. It's always you get everybody hyped up and everything. And stuff like that. And I mean, y'all, one of the baddest saxophone players I know. I would say that in front of his face and behind his back. I have told people, oh yeah, I know a great saxophone player. I know a great one. Growing up hearing him at Calvary, it's always was a joy. Now, I really want to get to Floor 62. So as we go into the new year, y'all going to hear me say more about Floor 62. I've been wanting to do that, but a lot's been going on this podcast this year. But I really want the man behind it all to tell us about Floor 62. Because when I tell you all, first off, I'm not just saying if he's saying this because I know him. That is also a platform, and I'm looking forward to see what else is going to happen in the future. So tell us about Floor 62, if you don't mind.
I appreciate that. Floor 62 is something I started working on in about 2018, and I didn't even have the name for it until 2021. And I saw where the internet was going, like as millennials, we've had the internet since we were kids. I've had the internet since I was a kid. So I've always been fascinated with websites and just and as a creator, not just a creator of music, but I feel like I like to create things. And then I just saw how there was platforms, the Meta and all of it. Like they went from Facebook to Meta, and things were changing. Where the web used to be, the metaphor was like a book. You went to this page and you went to this, but now like the internet has become like a space where people can like go online. Like you can go to Floor 62. So I saw that it's important not just to have real estate, in like physical real estate, but have your own digital platforms too. Like we can own space online, because it's just about infinite space. And it's like now I can have like my own social media. I can market to the people faster. I started seeing how social media started limiting the people that you can reach, even though you're the one who had them hit follow, even though it's your content. You know, these big platforms and these billionaires, they making all this money on advertisement and making all of this money on our content and our people and our relationships and our habits. Like they sell all this information. So my goal wasn't to sell anybody's information or track anybody's information or track anybody like that. But my goal was to have my own space where I can say, hey, look, if you want to listen to the Hill Project, go to floor62.us/Hill, where people can sign up for the website if they want to uh, be a premium member of the site, like you are. You know what I'm saying? You can pay a monthly fee, and I can have a store there. I can have social media there. I can stream my music there. I can stream my podcast there. So it becomes like if I had a real building, if I had a physical place for people to go where, hey, look, in this room you can go do this, in this room you can do that. So everything's happening on floor 62. It's just something that God gave me, and I've just been creative with it, and it's evolving. I'm going to be working with I'm already working with VR developers where you'll be able to put on the glasses and see different animations and participate in it, and we're just getting the gamers and the entrepreneurs and the creative people. It's a space for, like, you can find something just really for anybody and everybody. So I don't have to be as big as TikTok. I don't have to be as big as Meta, but I wouldn't be surprised if the platform did grow to something that big, But I wanted to be a different space where we could just be creative and just have, just have some fun, like, and not to bring everybody to my platform. It's just encourage people to have their own ownership of their own platforms where you can own your own digital space, and you can, market to your people and release the things you want to. Because right now, one of the problems is, there's no CDs no more, really no vinyl anymore. And those were the things that really got artists paid traditionally. So when you take a look at Spotify and they're only paying 0.003 per stream, you get 1 million streams and you ain't even made $5,000. What is that? When people used to be out of their trunk and they could sell 10 CDs and make $100, or there's people who really went platinum out of their trunk. So like floor 62 is like my trunk. I can sell my music there. I can sell my merchandise there. I can stream my podcast and let people know that I'm rolling out music. And people have to subscribe to my mailing list, so I can get them my information a lot quicker than being on Facebook a lot of times. Like, my birthday was almost a week ago, or more than a week ago, and people still like, "Oh, what was your birthday? Like, happy birthday!" Like, it's like there's a delay. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like floor 62 for me helps with that delay. And I started to like leave all those platforms. Like, I'm leaving Facebook and I'm leaving. I was like, you know what? No, I built that, so I'm keeping that. So I'm going to continue to use that. But ultimately, I want my friends and my family and the people who love my music, I call my friend fans, like, join Floor 62. Help me grow that platform. We help all these billionaires grow their platform, and they're not giving us a dime. At least I'm someone where, hey, you help me build something, we can help. We can scratch each other's back with it.
Mhm. And what you said about the vinyl CDs, I'm not an artist, but y'all know how this podcast started with cassette tapes to CDs. So I used to be selling. Y'all remember my original supporters, the gospel tape sale I used to do summertime. Yeah, y'all remember that. So
Yeah.
I feel you on that, and I'm gonna just say this to continue to plug 462. I know a lot of authors, a lot of artists, and all kind of people.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and pack out floor 62 as we do it now, as we head into the new year. Let this thing blow up in 2026.
Hey, that'd be a blessing, man. I got a blog on there. I write, and I try to just share, just some good content. If things are going on in the city, like when there was Hurricane Helene last year, um, I was able to use that platform to get people information about resources, where it's like, hey, look, there's food over here, there's water over here. Like, are they working on this? And they got people coming in from here. It was just a good way to share information. And then there was some people who told me that they really got a lot out of it when we was almost really in a blackout season of, like, how do we get information to each other? So it's like, even like about a week ago, when Amazon went down and all these websites went down and people weren't able to access their banking, people weren't able to do their online jobs and everything. Floor 62 was still up. So,
Mhm.
I just want to put that out there that, like if we can give attention to all these different platforms who really don't care about, especially people who look like us,
Mhm.
um, there's definitely a way where we can support a platform that from somebody, like there's a black creator behind it.
Mhm. Cause y'all look, I ain't gonna lie. On my phone, what's that right there?
Hmm.
Flow 62.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I be telling people, I be keeping up. Yeah, it's right there on my phone. And everything else, it's awesome. And I may try to get Thomas on here quarterly or something next year because I really want this thing to grow because it's such. Honestly, it has helped me build as a podcaster. Honestly, to be more
Mm.
something I thank Reverend Dr. Clyde Hill singing for, and now I thank Thomas and for so many other people. I'm able to become a better, not only man of God, but also build a podcaster and be more creative.
Mm.
And
Hey,
I like
good.
it's some things I got for Floor 62 that has given me ideas to be creative. Like y'all seeing all this new stuff. Honestly, part of it comes from Floor 62. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, good.
So it's a great platform. So all you authors, artists, all y'all creators out there, go ahead, look in the description. Go ahead, become a premium supporter. Come on, just go ahead and do it. Do it. And spend as much time on there as you do the other platforms.
I will say this because people will say, well, why don't you have an app and everything? And I did become an Apple creator, and I signed up for Google
Yeah.
because I was thinking, let me make an app because it'll be easier for people and everything. And then when especially with Apple has changed a lot of their rules about making apps.
Mm,
And you gotta have in-app purchases, and you gotta track so much information from people. And they look at it as a way for Apple looks at it as a way for them to get paid.
mhm,
Apple wants you to have Apple stuff incorporated into your app,
mhm,
and that's okay. But it's just like I learned this when I was working with a company called Intuit, and they do TurboTax. But I noticed they had software, but they also had a web version of their software. So I'm like, you know what? If it come up on people's phone, if it's a button, if it's a whatever, it's like you really just have to deliver the program to people's phone in a way like, okay, they hit this, it goes to that. And if they press this, it goes to that. It don't have to be an app. And what people are telling me like, oh, I don't even want another app on my phone. Like I'm glad this is a website. I think it's cool. When before it was just like a website. Like I think like people are starting to come back to like, oh, you know what? This is actually a cool thing. Like it ain't Apple, it's not Android, it's the internet. It's Floor 62 online.
and that what makes it it's different. It's not just like somebody is trying to do just be like the other person. It's different, and you could tell it's somebody just being their self. You could tell the creator is an originator.
Yeah.
That's why I easily could relate to that, because that what caught my attention. Like how I got it on my phone, I saved it on my I saved the little on Apple got that little thing you can save it to your home page. I got it
Homecoming, yeah.
home page, so I can have better access to it.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, it's ways you can make it easier for you, and that's why I love like you said, it's not an app, it's a website.
Yeah.
It's different because we live in a day and age where everything's on an app.
Right.
So
But you don't realize how much information you're giving people when you purchase their app. Like they know what other apps that you have on your phone. They know what app you was on before you got to their app. They know what app that you go to after you leave the app. They know everything that you Google. They know your like if you do your like your heartbeat and all that on your watch and all like they know your habits. They know where you spend money at. They know the things that you're looking for. It's like when you get on Facebook, you start scrolling. You're like, oh, I was just thinking about this. They know. They know because they see the things that you Google. They know that the things that your friends Google. They know the things that your friends like. and they sell all of this information, and we give them all this information. Like I just got the privacy settlement from Facebook, and I guess they figured, like, I guess if you're still on it, you must not be worried about it too much. But they've breached our privacy for so long. They've done experiments on it. Like if you look up the Facebook experiments, where they'll put negative stuff on people's pages intentionally, and they putting positive stuff on other people's pages intentionally, just to do research and just to track you and just to see what type of things you post based on the things that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And they got in trouble for that. And like, you don't even have to take my word for it. You can look all this up. And they're not going to tell you that they're doing an experiment on you until they're finished. You get what I'm saying? So right now they're using our habits to build AI and to build things that's going to, make their pockets increase. So I just want I want to put that out there just so that people can be mindful. People can be mindful of the things that they're putting out and the things that they're sharing online, because don't think that, oh, it's just my friends, or just like, oh, I got a little page or whatever. Like, no, you have an asset for somebody, and then they're making sure that they take everything from you and not give you anything in return.
And that's true. Y'all need to do y'all research. That ain't nothing new. It's stuff like that been out for years. It's just you got to take your time. Read it is fundamental. Reading is fundamental, and taking time to read. I tell you, it's so important. Man, honestly, and I'm not just saying this to be saying this. I really want to have him on here probably quarterly going into the new year and about Floor 62, or to highlight Floor 62, because honestly, I strongly believe in what he's doing on there. And y'all gonna be hearing me say more stuff about it. I may refer you. I say, hey, go check this out, Floor 62 next year. There's a lot of stuff y'all gonna be seeing going into the new year. But I want you all to make sure that you go check out Floor 62. Also, be sure to check out Praying. Go check it out. Matter of fact, y'all need to go do that right after y'all tune off of this podcast. Go check it out. I guarantee you're gonna want to share it with somebody. I promise you're gonna want to share with somebody. I was playing with my son earlier, and my son over here just chilling. He been chilled in this little bouncer next to me. He been chilling ever since then. no lie.
That's good.
So I want to thank you so much for taking the time out and joining me today here on the God's Recording Podcast. And I'm praying for you. And if there's anything I could do, just let me know. I'm here for you.
God, I do want to leave with this, because right now we are in early voting, and a lot of the issues that are going on right now is because I think that as a community we need more involvement. Like, know who your commissioner is. You know what I'm saying? Know what district you live in. Know about your Augusta Commission. Get involved with things that you want to see in your community, because it ain't just about online. Online for us to like connect and have fun and all of it. But in real life, we're from Augusta, Georgia, and there's some issues going on in Augusta, Georgia, especially from people from the age of 16 to 25. Like all the music and the praying and all the healing, all of that's great. But as a community, if we don't come together and speak to each other about the things that we want for the community, if we're not getting in contact with our commissioners, if we don't know who the mayor is, or we're not empowering, the chapter that's going on, or we're not voting, or we really can't complain. So we do have to make sure that we're making our voices heard, because there's the powers that be that don't want our voices to be heard. They want them to be diminished. So this platform and the music that I'm doing is to increase my visibility, so we can help some of the violence that's going on. We can help some of the depression that's going on, the lost souls, because people out there thinking that they have to do something wrong to get ahead. And there's a lot of right that you can do to get ahead. And I just wanted to leave people with that.
And that's true. Something I say on here all the time is, yes, we got to pray. Yes, we got to believe in God. Yes, we got to stand on God's word. But also, you got to put action with that. Yes, that's action too. Don't get me wrong. But we got to get out there and let our voices be heard more. Y'all don't just see me on here online. Y'all see me out in the community. Y'all, because it's needed. And that's so important. I'm glad you mentioned that. Do your research. I talk about this throughout the year. I don't just talk about this around this time of the year, but just do your research, y'all. Be smart.
That's right.
Smart. And honestly, I'm glad he said it. If you don't do your research, if you don't vote, you don't got no reason to complain. That's so true. Don't give me no excuse. Well, I didn't vote because you didn't vote. I don't want to hear it. Just leave it alone. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But I'm glad you brought that up. But that is it for today. Remember, one more time, check out Floor 62. Check out this track. Pray and go ahead and check it out and keep up with J.Soul. Please do that, because trust me, you're gonna be blessed and you're gonna get educated. I just love what he's doing. It's like I say, it's honestly, it's helping me to become a better person. Period. I ain't lying. That's the truth. That's the God honest truth. They ain't podcast talk. So yeah, and also like I said, all my authors, podcasters, all creatives, check out Floor 62. Check it out. Tell others about it. Let this be like wildfire. You tell one person, and that person tell another person, and that let people all everywhere hear about this. Okay. I know y'all could do that. Come on. But anyway, let me get off of here. That is it for today. I love you all so very much. Until next time, this is Reverend Bertram BJ Major. Sign out to you all to stay great, stay safe, and be blessed.